Shalom. First off, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakakadash, Yahweh being the true name for the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shai being named for his only begotten Son, who the world eagerly calls God, and Jesus Christ. I want to give double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, that taught me the truth and will well, and salutations to you, hopeful elect, pushing this truth in all honesty and sincerity. This is Brother Yahweh Sab, coming to you know as the spirit power of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai. This lesson is going to give you an update on times and events, and this is another update on the coronavirus epidemic, which is becoming a pandemic. The coronavirus is diagnosed in Chicago. Woman, second case in U.S. The first case is over there in Seattle, and now they got another case over here that made it into Chicago. And Chicago is, as you know, is one of the largest cities in the United States, if not one of the largest cities in the world. And this is a big deal because if they cannot contain this thing, they're going to have to take actions like China has done. Which China has had to shut down 2 major cities already, and it is growing rapidly. You've already had over 26 people that's been dead. You have hundreds of people that's been infected. And it's traveling and it's multiplying at a very, very rapid rate. Okay, you got some sources saying this thing is going to be worse than the bubonic plague or just as bad. Or I don't know if it can get that bad, but this is one of the things that the scripture says will be a sign of the end times is pestilence. Pestilence goes into diseases. Okay. So this lesson, I've already touched on one previously as far as the prophecy of this being in the scripture, but this lesson is going to be focusing on how to combat some of these things that are going to take place. Because this will eventually, if it's not this virus, there will be one virus one day that will be affecting the millions. Okay, and if you don't have knowledge of the scriptures and on how to heal yourself, you're just not going to make it. And the scriptures do give you instruction on how to heal yourself. Okay, because with this thing being in Chicago, this thing can easily spread by wildfire. That's over here in the Midwest United States, man. I'm prophesying now from Kansas City, so that's not far from here. That's only 8 hours away. It says this is the second confirmed case in the United States of coronavirus, which has killed 26 and sickened more than 800 in China. Wuhan and nearby cities are locked down, impacting more than 30 million people in that region of China. 30 million people locked down, man. You got at least 7 cities total. A couple in China and more other countries have other cities that are shutting down as well behind this disease. And this is really going to roll right into too as well. Could roll into the mark of the beast being made mandatory. This could be one of the possible outcomes behind it. But nonetheless, let's go into some scriptures that speak of this thing and how to combat it. This is Ecclesiastes 38:4. The Lord hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. Okay? Abhor means to basically ignore. All right? He that is wise, you won't ignore them. The medicines are created out of the earth. You can't always trust these vaccines and these things that Esau is pushing out to tell you that that's what you're going to have to get in order to prevent from getting this disease. The way vaccines works is they put the disease inside of you. And in some cases, a weakened form of it or a version of it that's killed to where your body takes it and recognizes it. And then your white blood cells are able to know how to defeat it quicker if it enters your body. But in most cases, that's just a scam, man. They're actually putting a disease in you, and later on down the road, it multiplies in your body quietly, and then you come down with it. Most people that are coming down with the flu, they've had the vaccine. Okay? So you need to know what the Lord told you how to heal yourself and protect yourself, and that's the medicines out of the earth. All right, and so what I've done here, I've actually gone to a herbal store. And I just went there and, asked permission if I could just take a picture of their book identifying all the major herbs that they have in their store and the benefits that they have. I've done my own research on these things. I'm not saying I'm an expert when it comes to the herbs, but I've become pretty knowledgeable with them on which ones you can take for different ailments and illnesses. All right, and the ones that I'm going to be talking about today are the ones that you have right now in your spice cabinet. A lot of people buy your spices. You season your foods. especially, Jake, so-called Black, Latino, and Native American people, they use the spices. A lot of you already have these things in your cabinets. Okay, the first one we're going to talk about is oregano powder. This is a very common spice when using with Italian food and Mexican foods. Okay, we're just going to hop right into it. It says the key actions. It's an antiseptic, antifungal, antiviral. Okay, now the thing that's becoming a pandemic is a virus. This is something that's already in your cabinet to help you combat viruses. Influenza, the flu. Viruses is antiviral is what you need. Antimicrobial, anti-spasmodic, digestive aid. Okay, it says stimulates liver, helps respiratory infections. So if you got bronchitis, if you've got pneumonia, this is one of the herbs to take, and it's already in your house. Oregano powder is what this one says, but if you have oregano flakes or seasoning, that'll work too. Or just go to the store and you can buy fresh oregano. Okay, you can buy fresh oregano too. All right, so let's grab another one here. Let's go up here. Let's see, cinnamon bark. Okay, a lot of you have cinnamon within your spice cabinets. Now, what you can do is, I've already brung up oregano, but you can take a combination of the things that I'm already giving to you and mix them together, to make your tea even more potent. Because basically what I'm getting at is you're going to make a tea out of all these things. And you can also buy some vegetarian capsules, pill capsules, from your local herb store, and you can make pills and put all these things within that. Okay, but teas is a very good thing. You go buy you a one of those wire mesh tea balls, or just a tea strainer period, and use that and make tea. Put all this stuff and mix it all together, and you have one very, very powerful tea to combat whatever it is you're going through. Okay, but this is antiseptic, aids in digestion, anti-spasmodic, antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral. So this is another thing that's against viruses. Okay, antiviral means can kill or combat viruses, and this is what you need. These are viruses that are spreading. Cinnamon is a very common herb, and it's even mentioned within the Bible. That's how old and how far back it goes. Okay, anti-nausea. So if you're feeling like you got to throw up, this can help with that. If you have diarrhea, anti-diarrheal. This is something these are some of the symptoms that's being caused by this virus and the flu. It causes nausea, diarrhea, headaches, dizziness. This says this increases circulation, promotes sweating, which you want to sweat out the viruses and whatever it is that's in you. A blood purifier. Reduce anxiety and stress. Cinnamon is a very powerful herb. And this is something that most people have already in their spice cabinets. Okay. Another common one, this one isn't necessarily, it doesn't say necessarily antiviral, but it is a very healthy herb to take, and this has been proven to combat cancers, is dandelion roots. It's a very, very powerful herb, and that's something that just grows in everybody's backyard. You can go out right now, and you can find, the leaves. They go back to dandelions, and you can still dig up the root right now, even in the winter. Dandelion root is good to have. There's a lot of vitamins. It contains a massive amount of vitamin C in it too. So that's good. These are common things you can find right now. Okay. Juniper berries. If you go outside and you find yourself a cedar tree, you can take the juniper berries and you can add that to your tea. It'll give it a taste. It gives you a huge amount of vitamin C. It's another thing that can help you. It's antibacterial. All right. Let's go a little bit further here. Majorium, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Majoram. This is another common spice. You go in your grocery store, you'll find this there. Okay, it says that this one is antiseptic, antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral, anti-inflammatory. So your lungs, and you're starting getting a lung infection, this would help with that. It's another very common spice. You know, when you're making like chicken soup, this is one of the reasons why chicken soup people, they tell you to take it when you got a cold, is because chicken soup includes a lot of these spices. It's not really necessarily the chicken meat that is doing anything for you. It's the spices that's going into it. And the more powerful, the more amount of spices you have in it, the more beneficial it is going to be to you. Now, it's always better to use these things fresh versus what's been dried and you buy from a grocery store. You can get all these herbs bought fresh from your grocery store. The main ones I'm bringing out here that are the most common. Get the fresh ones if you actually have something going on where you're actually sick. Okay. Plantain leaf is another very common garden weed that's in your backyard. You can Google what that looks like. But this is mainly, I use this herb when it comes to cuts, bruises, skin conditions. This cures all. Anything you think of that skin problems, this thing knocks it right out. Plantain leaf, okay? And all these things you can buy from your local herb store. White willow bark. If you need to knock out a fever, you take this. Okay? This is a very powerful herb. It's a bark. It's part of the bark from the white willow tree. And they're very common. Okay? It says anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, pain relieving, reduces fevers. You know, a fever can kill somebody if it gets too high. It helps stop the growth of bacteria, viruses. So white willow bark is another big one. So the big ones that we mentioned are so far that you already have in your cabinet. You know, you may not have this one. This one you probably have to go to your herb store or actually find a white willow tree and just strip the bark off, and there you go. But the ones we already mentioned is you got marjoram, you got oregano and cinnamon, and then this one you just brung up is white willow bark. So those four we just mentioned, I believe those four, you can put all those into a tea, and this is gonna knock that stuff out, man. Okay. Turmeric is pretty good. That helps with a lot of anti-inflammatory. If you got you know, a lot of inflammation issues. This is the other one I want to bring out. This is thyme leaf. Okay, this is very powerful, especially for viruses such as the common colds, and it helps stop your cough, chest infections. Very, very good herb, and everybody has this spice almost. Antiseptic, okay, antimicrobial, antiparasitic, antibiotic, heals wounds, increases blood flow. Okay, it says good for respiratory system, helps with colds. You know, it's immune boosting. Means that it probably contains a lot of zinc. Thyme can be used in infusion to treat coughs, colds, and chest infections, and also digestive upsets. In syrup form, it's soothing the sore throats. So common cold is very big during the time of winter, and when winter approaching in times of fall and stuff like that, and when the weather's changing. Use thyme. Very, very common. This is thyme leaf powder, but you can use, like I said, the spices itself as well. Sage, another huge one. Check out the key actions on this one. It says anti-inflammatory, antifungal, antibacterial, anti-spasmodic, antiviral. Another one against viruses. These are things the Lord already has from the earth to heal you and protect you from all the plagues that He's sending upon this place. Get this stuff in you before you even catch anything. Okay? Lord's will, you don't catch it if you are right in the spirit and you're not being judged. You know, but these are things that can help you if you end up coming down with something. It's right here in your backyard, man. Okay? Another huge powerful one is ginger. Ginger is very powerful. It's good for your digestive, antiviral, antibacterial. Ginger is like a cure-all thing. Get you some fresh ginger root, especially if you got stomach problems. That'll knock that out. You got cold problems, you can use the vitamin C from the ginger. And lime. It says drink this every day and never get sick. Just put ginger pieces into a juicer to collect the juice. You should make about 2 ounces of juice. Then squeeze key limes either by hand or using a citrus press. You should make about 1 ounce of lime juice. Mix the 2 ounces of ginger with the 1 ounce of lime juice and store in a glass container. You can make as much as you like. I usually make a medium-sized pitcher at a time. This will be good for several weeks. You know, you can take this in the form of like a shot glass. Take shots of this every day and prevent you from being sick. Here's your natural flu shot here. Recipe for that: ginger, cayenne, cinnamon, turmeric, and lemon. All right, you need to know these things, okay? If you're wise, you won't abhor them. Revelation 22:2. In the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river, was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruits, and yielded her fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations. There you go, from the earth, medicines, from the leaf of the trees. Ezekiel 47:12. And by the river upon the bank thereof, on this side and on that side, shall grow all trees for meat, whose leaf shall not fade, neither shall the fruit thereof be consumed. It shall bring forth new fruit according to his months, because their waters they issued out of the sanctuary. And the fruit thereof shall be for meat, and the leaf thereof for medicine. There you go. Fruit for meat, leaf for medicine. Okay, so if you're sick, you need some meat, eat some fruit. And take the leaves of that tree for medicine. Because this is what the Lord said is coming. And this is what we're seeing take place since we're in the last days. Matthew 24:7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. All these wars have been taking place over the decades and centuries. And there shall be famines and pestilences. Pestilences goes into diseases. And earthquakes in divers places. This is talking about what he said was going to come in the last days. Luke 21:11. And great earthquakes shall be in divers places. Divers places, think of that as big cities. Heavy populated areas. And famines and pestilences. And fearful sights and great signs shall there be from heaven. Okay, we've seen the blood moons, we've seen the total solar eclipses, we've seen the earthquakes, we've seen the starvations that's been going on. Fearful sights, great signs, pestilences. Now we're seeing the diseases, man. 2 Esdras 15:17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Because now you have 2 cities in China that's been quarantined and shut down. They can't leave. All the millions of people, man. Millions upon millions of people are affected by this. Can't go into another city. Desire to go, but not be able. You know? So these are the signs of the times. And this is what's going on in our world right now in the society. You got a second case now in the United States. And that's how it started over there in China. Had a few little cases and it just, bam, just went out of control, man. Now it's 26 people dead behind it. Over 800 people been affected. And you got millions quarantined. You know, so, hey, that's about it. We'll wrap it up. Lord's willing, this lesson was edifying. I'm going to go ahead and close out and give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone that taught me his truth and will well. And salutations to you, hopeful elect, pushing his truth in all honesty and sincerity. Shalom.